okay, I'm going to this school for the best fit for me and my game. It's who's going to give me the most money, who's going to offer me the biggest bag. You see a few 30-point games, potentially 40-point games. He gets extremely hot.
Langston Love leads the break to George. Lay it up and back-to-back baskets by the Baylor freshman.
Shrinks everything. Good pass.
Wow, how about Keyonte? George up the floor to Jalen Bridges. Only the third and fourth points in the paint by Northern Colorado. Runner by Keyonte. George is good. 16-point advantage for Baylor. Here's Keyonte. George drives in. Left-hand layup is good.
Really solid.
Shot clock's at 5 for Baylor. Damba with the handoff. George rising up, nails the three.
In my opinion, Dick Bennett is one of the 5 most consequential coaches in the last. If you can free George, if you can free Flagler, Cryer, when they're out there.
There's George trying to go to work, guarded by Franklin. He'll pull up with 2 hands in his face.
Loner knocked off the ball. Flagler runs it out for Baylor. Up the floor to George. Layup good and a foul.
14 points off turnovers, and Baylor looks lost offensively. And finally, Keyonte George
Down to 10. Nice pass.
George the cut to score.
Next 5 minutes are key to this game.
George ready to shoot, and he knocks it down. Yeah, he's out high defending George here.
And nothing inside whatsoever. Not a catch. It's the only way they've gotten inside. What a play that was, huh?
Wow.
Did he show you?
Now down to 8. George almost had it taken away by Smith. D3. Wow. 67th consecutive start on the floor to get that steal. See if George can take it all the way in. Good hop step. Keyonte George against Robin. What a move. Oh, my goodness.
They haven't found it yet. Now on Daniels, his second. George for 3 is good. Dante George working against the defense of Shamir Bogues. Will drive, lay it up and in.
But this team finally has found a little bit of momentum. Hopefully they can maintain it when they circle the wagons again.
He had a great summer, and he was a late addition to this roster. Really athletic 6'6" wing. George fouled on the three-point shot. What a hot shooter Jay Mullins is. He's the real deal, isn't he? Missed his last 4. Gay 1 for 2, a 4-point. Washington State lead over the 11th ranked Baylor Bears. Here's George calling his own number and knocking it down. Wow. George hangs and hits.
I think a guy who's only in his 4th year playing organized basketball would be. Big bucket by George.
22-15, the Baylor lead. Here's George, drive, banker, good by Keyonte George. 15 on the shot clock, 9 on the game clock, first half. Baylor leading by 10 over Nichols. George will pop a 3 and nail it.
Right now, they don't have enough scoring, especially with George not able to get going yet. Here's George. And as you say that, tough assignment, the freshman Lipsy trying to check Adam Flagler. He had 18 in the first half. Now Keyonte George is why they have themselves a 10-point lead with 9 minutes gone by in the second half. You see now coming out of a timeout, they go zone, 2-3. George, spot up, 3, got it! And these guards, very creative. Here's George from the wing. Got it! Get their misses and put them back. No question. By the way, Baylor's done that great for the last 2 decades. Tough shot. Keyonte George to go in Waco. 3-point game, stolen away by George.
Kansas State is playing. It can cause mismatch problems for you.
Cryer the steal, Keyonte George with the left-handed finish. George the floater, good.
Knew his game, knew that's not what he does, so he kicked it back out and let Noel make a play. Smart play by Bebe.
George off balance.
Kind of held him down a little bit, but he's improved and he's shown what he can really do.
Keyonte George has not scored in the second half until now.
They've gotten the good looks. They just haven't gotten them to fall. Same thing with Baylor. Baylor's had a few good looks too.
George pull up from the baseline. He hit it. Coach Drew told us that Keyonte's getting better with his shot selection. Pops out for an open look from deep.
Great pass by Evan Matthews.
Down to 6 seconds. George with 3. Keyonte George. Corner, fall away, hit it!
You have to let some things go.
Foul is on the floor. George picking his spots. Puts it up and one.
George in the scoring column. Ooh, what a tough shot.
Bridges deflects it out to Cryer. George, a 2.
There we go.
The last thing he wants is after that block to go the other way and him to give up an easy bucket because he's gassed.
Exactly.
George can't get past.
Tough shot.
Ooh,
Tough shot.
really good defense.
Baylor does such a great job of using the entire floor. George pull up, got it. Big time, just refused the ball screen.
You can just DM him or text him later. Walsh, a 5-star recruit. George trying to shake it and a 3 right.
So much length out there guarding these guards.
Here's Keyonte George. He leans in and they'll count it.
Key for Arkansas has handled this Baylor run.
Walsh on George. Black tried to find Counsell, knocked away. Baylor the other way. Here's George. Got through Davis, hangs and hits. Here's George. George, full head of steam, and he got it again!
Still a possession game, no fouls yet.
Not quite enough. You can hear Eric Musselman stomp on the Arkansas sideline. George for 3.
Neither do we, neither do these kids who missed the free throws.
George, step back, 3.
Big time.
George gets that one. Under a minute to go. George inside, left hand is good.
The flashy leader of this Baylor offense, experienced senior from Duluth, Georgia. When things break down, this is a guy that can go. George, what a stroke. How pretty is that? Plenty of time on the shot clock. Tough catch through the hands of Love. Recovers. There you go. George to the rim. He lays it in and a foul. A native of Hopkins, Minnesota, 2 years at North Carolina. Keyonte George puts it on the floor. The drive. That's nice. How high? He wants to go now. George. That's too easy.
Well, you saw the athleticism of Oweh and the length of Baylor in that possession. He's a star here in this community. Rightfully so.
Keyonte George 3. Switch. George weaving through traffic and with the left hand, kisses it in.
Yeah, and Lohner was off of the shooter in the corner and a very good shooter in Sherfield. Uzan should have got off of that ball earlier on that drive. Could have got a clean look for Sherfield in the corner.
George again.
Baylor can have.
Off the inbounds and one opportunity for George.
And then you got Tanner or Hill, and they typically need a third guy to have great success. That's what happened in the Bama game for them, Mark.
That was Uzan's second 3, the other being the 3 at the end of the half at the buzzer.
But guys like Oweh, Bamacell do well in a high-intensity athletic game like this.
Here's the freshman George, stopping on a dime.
There's that dribble.
Switched hands and makes the shot. Wow, remarkable.
Watch this, Mark. Take a look. This is a first-round pick. Enjoy him now, Baylor fans.
Right now, remaining all alone atop the conference. George, somehow got to the rim.
Here's George. Career high 8 rebounds. And that's his first field goal of the night. Keyonte George with the 3 and a chance at a 4-point play. I mean, they're up in the ante now on these threes.
In that game, made some real key plays down the stretch.
With the shot clock running down, Keyonte.
Everybody's trying to take that three-point shot away from him, so he gives that shot fake and just counters the defense.
George again.
Or a distant memory.
And right now the Jayhawks cannot buy one. George again. Oh boy!
Easy basket for Baylor.
A huge bucket for the Bears.
11 times he's been over 20 points in a game. 3 ball.
And that's
on cue. Number 9 and number 14.
Good look.
Here's George. Baylor's on top.
Yep.
No good from Tomlin.
Good extra pass.
George for 3.
How about that?
Love out to George. Got the 3 ball. Kansas State's only loss inside Bramlage came at the hands of the Texas Longhorns. There's a 3 by George.
Cyclones beat these Bears. Straight line drive. Keyonte George. George, tough 2. Got it to go somehow. Oh, man, that's one of those. No, nice.
Flagler, the trio, they are a handful. Pryor kicks to George, and the freshman knocks down a 3. Baylor has the lead.
Big shot, well contested. And keep in mind, in the first 2 meetings,
Edina, Minnesota.
you know this kid? Look at the contest. Bingo.
George, the Bears on the move. Keyonte George had it knocked away. That's a 3. And we are tied.
Said it all year, that young guy does not have any fear. He'll shoot.
Had a guy off guy, but then also a great shot by LJ.
George forcing that turnover, the dive for Flagler to keep it. Transition through for Baylor. There might be a chance we might see him. He has not played here for UC Santa Barbara yet tonight. Or today, I should say. From the corner. Here comes George again, getting off the screen from Flagler. And he goes off the glass.